Today on the Klepcx show, one fan thinks her favorite Stranger Things cast member is catfishing her. The toxic Avenger is back, and we have the first images. Scott Pilgrim is also back. We're going to talk about that. My first reactions of the Blue Beetle. Yes, I've seen it, and boy, we've got to talk about it. Also, an interview with executive producer of a new CW show, son of a Critch. We got him here today. All that and more on the Klepcx show. It's time to talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Klepcx FM, brought to you by WeAreCritics.com, a place where we talk about movies, television, and pop culture. And if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you hit that subscribe key and that notification bell so you can be up to speed about everything that we talk about here. I'm your host, Klep Napier. I'm back, yes, but I'm here with my homeboy, of course, Miguel. He's in the building. Y'all know him as Migs. How you doing, brother?
What up, Klep? Thank you for having me. We here. We back once again. Let's do it. Talk about
always
it.
Thanking me for having him when he's here every week.
Hey, man.
And in the background, of course, we got the voice of God, my homeboy, Mr. Wepa himself, Al Mega.
Hey, yo, Wepa, mi gente.
Shout out to Comic Crusaders in the building, always, of course. Listen, man.
Hey.
It's another week.
It's another week.
Another night to talk about things.
Yes.
That are all things television and movies and
yes.
pop culture, fun stuff. Some not so fun stuff.
We're running out of stuff.
But we keep it light. We like to keep it light. We don't like to get into too much controversy.
Nah. We're here to have some fun.
But, you know, we got to set it off with what we're watching out there. What are you watching right now?
Oh, dude. I recently just caught Across the Spider-Verse. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good,
So
man.
you believe the hype?
Oh, yeah, man. Listen, this is one I missed out during early summer, right? The releases. And, you know, I was always going to watch it. Mm-hmm. The minute it went digital, I had to, from the comforts of my own home. Man, this movie does not disappoint. I can't wait to be on the Spider-Verse. It's going to be a movie.
Yeah.
It's going to be a movie.
So, yeah, I mean, once it's on digital, you have no excuse. You have to see it at this point. You know what I mean? So you didn't find any flaws whatsoever. You liked it straight through?
I love this movie so much.
Wow.
Yeah, because, like, Into the Spider-Verse is, for me, one of the best spider stories ever told, right? And the animation of it, it's just like A+. This movie, the new one, right, it's just completely ups the bar. Wow. Every form. Yeah. From the stories to what's in jeopardy, right? Like the main, what Miles is trying to get accomplished, to the animation. The new characters they introduced, man,
it's like I said when I watched it, I told everybody, it's like no matter when you were ever introduced into the character of Spider-Man, there's literally something for you in this movie, regardless of what iteration, whether it was an old cartoon, an old movie, an old video game, anything, toys, everything is in this movie, and you'll walk away like, wow.
This version of Miles, Shamik Moore, bro, this is stuff with legends. Like this run right here, this 3-movie run. Bro, he couldn't have asked for nothing better.
He's working now. He's trying to get physical because he wants to be the live action.
You know what?
He's a little too old, I think.
He's a little too old. He can't. Can we do some spoilers?
Yeah, I mean,
let's do something light. Let's do something light.
It's been out.
So you know how we've been playing with the fact that maybe Donald Glover, Childish Gambino might be eventually the Prowler because that was set in stone way back in the first Spider-Man movie for
he was originally supposed to be Miles.
Right. But I'm saying he was introduced as Uncle Aaron. Mm-hmm. We know that. We might not see that eventually, right? Like we might. I think we've got a huge Easter egg in this movie that maybe writes him off as that. Mm-hmm. So maybe we could see a Shamik Moore the Prowler.
Like a variant.
That'd be dope. That'd be super dope.
I mean, there's a lot of variant stuff going around. Maybe we'll get a variant in like Loki or something. You never know.
Yeah, we never know. This is epic movie. Highly recommended. The kids will love it. The adults will love it. There's no animation that you've seen that's on this caliber. This is the best animation ever.
I agree.
Of all times. And your eyeballs are going to be like... like, you're not going to want to blink, because that was me, bro. Like, I legit was like...
You walked through with a dry eye? You didn't blink?
This is beautiful, bro. Oh, my God, bro.
Miggs walked away with the dry eye.
Dude, I was like...
He never blinked.
I dropped.
He never blinked once, so he's
it
like...
was so... Bro. I'm jealous of people that have that setup where the background matches, like, you know how they got the lights around the TV and the background matches the light. Bro, that movie and that setup's gotta be another level.
Was that the only thing you got a chance to check out? I
checked that out, and I checked out is it Hitting Strike with Jackie Chan and John Cena?
You told me about this. Yo, I vaguely just feel like I saw it, but just dismissed it. But when you told me, it kind of rang bells. Al, you never even told me about this.
Dude, it's a Netflix original.
It's a Netflix original?
Yes. I mentioned it to someone. I was like, yo, you know John Cena and Jackie Chan did a movie? I didn't even know.
You know what? It's, for what it is, for what you expect Jackie Chan to do, it's that. Like, you're getting his Rush Hour with John Cena, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like...
What's the name of it again?
Hitting Strike.
Hitting Strike.
And it's like a big collaboration with a Chinese studio.
Yeah.
So, you know, John Cena gets to, you know, do the John Cena stuff, you know. But he out here speaking Mandarin. He speaks Mandarin, bro. Yeah, bro. It's a...
There was a scene where he got upset, something happened, and homie just spit like a whole, like, verse in the language.
Yeah.
And you're like... And they all looked at me like, I didn't know you know how to speak the language. He goes, I'm mad.
It's a good,
Well, there you go, guys. Hitting Strike.
Hitting Strike, John Cena.
Miggs recommends it. On Netflix?
Yeah,
on Netflix.
Yeah,
what else?
Anything
else?
Let's see. As far from TV, what have I been watching? I think that's it, man.
TV,
you know?
I
mean, I watched 2 episodes of Heels, right? Like, I don't know if I told you that.
Yeah. See, I got to get back into that.
Yeah, I got to keep up with Heels because I want that show to get, you know what I mean? So I need to support it anyway.
I got to do my part. I got to do my part more because I was really enjoying season 1 and I just kind of fell off of it.
So good.
But what threw me off was the fact that when we were supposed to interview them and then we dropped, I was like... So I kind of fell off of that train, but I'm going to jump back on because it is a damn good show.
It is a great show. And I want people to watch it. You guys should watch Heels. Yeah. Watch Heels on Stars right now. Watch it.
But I was taking a trip down memory lane. Like, all the stuff that I was watching, like, I have this movie that I grew up on. I think I was probably in, like, the 3rd or 4th grade with Dana Carvey called Opportunity Knocks.
Okay.
And I was like, I've been wanting to watch it, but every time I try to find it on streaming, it's always, you have to buy it or rent it. And I just bit the bullet the other day. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay this $14.99 for this 30-year-old movie. And I ended up...
Fun fact, Dana is getting no money from that.
Probably
and this
not.
is why they're fighting.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know who just got my money.
You pay $15 for a 30-year-old movie, and some executives getting paid instead of like the director, the star.
I have no idea who's getting that money.
It's so crazy. This is why they're fighting.
But I got to watch my movie. I got my fix. And listen, when I watch my older movies, I rewatch them. Sometimes I just put them on repeat in the background and I just go back down the memory lane. So I got to watch that. Then I was like on my horror kick because it's almost fall. And you know, the horror scene it's about to get bigger and bigger. I know y'all still worried it's summer, but I'm a horror guy and Halloween is my time of year. First over Christmas, then comes Christmas, but I love Halloween. So I watched this movie that supposedly is getting a remake.
Okay.
Called Street Trash.
Oh my God, that was made in my neighborhood.
Yo.
I grew up, literally.
Yo.
2 blocks away from where I grew up.
You want to talk about...
I need to hear about
You want to talk about trashy horror?
Yeah, talk to me about Street Trash.
It's called Street Trash for a reason.
Tell me. What was the name?
First off, I got 2 issues. I got 2, not even issues, 2 questions.
Yes.
How was this movie distributed? Period. Like, who
VHS,
said I wanted to put this movie out? Who said that? Secondly, who said, let's remake it?
Let me guess. Originally, we going with Orion, right? They used to release all those type of movies.
Yeah, but they got some good ones under the belt, like the Octagon and
But now maybe I'm saying Blumhouse or Magnet.
I don't even. Did you hear that this remake was happening? I know you're in the horror world now.
I did not hear about the remake, and I completely understand. I seen the original when it first came out on video cassette. It was really like an independent flick.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it, I'm like,
dude,
I'm like, wait a minute.
That's
this block.
You're like, this is my block.
This is that block. I'm like, what the hell?
It's like they got a shot of the bodega.
It was a miracle. Yo, dude, there was a bodega there. I was like,
I was like, wait, that's me walking down the street.
Where my royalties, yo? They've been trying to kill me, son. Where are they, bro?
Wait a minute. That's mom's. That's my mom walking down the street.
It really is a dumb movie.
Dude.
It's all about liquor, poisonous liquor.
Yo, but it's confusing, bro, because like I'm not even gonna lie, yo, like that's the synopsis. What he's telling you, it's about poisonous liquor that gets on the street with the bums, and then they drink it and immediately start melting.
It's like crack juice.
But that's literally like a quarter of the movie. Then you're following the storyline about some war vet bum who's like psycho and wanting to murder people for absolutely no reason. And then there's a cop who's out to get everyone for no reason.
Wow.
And it's weird. It's weird.
It's late 80s Brooklyn, man. That's the way it was.
Listen,
it sounds awesome.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. In that era, in that time, I definitely would have been at the video store renting that for no reason.
Street trash.
I rented it because of the cover. I mean,
it's got great artwork.
Yeah, it was a dope cover, dope poster, and all of a sudden, you know, it's somebody melting, and you start watching this, and again, all I'm seeing is like. It's like somebody grabbed the camera from the hood and said, "Yo, fellas, let's go." Son.
It's literally like
where'd you catch this? What streaming service, or did you buy it as well?
I watched. No way, I didn't buy that. Actually, you know what? You got me because I didn't buy it. I started a trial for AMC Plus.
Okay.
So AMC Plus, which I didn't know existed until I was looking for that movie.
That's a thing.
AMC Plus, you can do a 7-day trial and watch all their catalog. And for some weird, random reason, Street Trash is on that site, on that streaming service.
I could see it on IFC, but AMC?
Dude,
see American classics.
Everything about this movie is random. Where it's at, where you can watch it, what happens in it. Yeah, and I want to say that the director, he did something.
It felt like a trauma movie, for real.
Yeah, it does feel like a trauma movie. It does. He did something after that that was like notable, and I was like, wow, he went from that to this.
Yeah. Apollo 13, no.
No, not great, but but that was that was.
He's actually Chris Nolan.
All you horror buffs out there, I know like you real diehard horror buffs have probably seen this movie and you probably love it. But for all those people who are, they want to watch some craziness for the Halloween season,
sign me up.
Just add it to the list, and it's a good laugh.
And you get to catch it before the sequel, right?
Yeah.
A reboot /
and I'm talking about all the trades covered this reboot remake thing. Wow. Like it wasn't like bloody. What is that? Bloody and Disgusting, and what's the other one? It wasn't like just horror. This was on all the trades. I'm pretty sure Variety even did an article on Street Trash getting rebooted.
If they're doing that, that goes to show there is nothing happening in Hollywood.
Oh, dude.
That they're making a big deal of this movie that was extremely low budget
and bad. It's not good.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, and then I checked out this new series that came from Canada to the U.S. just recently. The executive producer also did Schitt's Creek, and I talked to him. We're going to be talking to him later. I have an interview with him in the show today. You guys are going to see that. This show's pretty cool. It's not like my favorite kind of thing, but it's funny. It's funny, and it's in the vein of like Goldberg's meets Young Sheldon.
Okay.
It's a comedy that's based and set in Canada, so there's a lot of comedic.
Someone's childhood, but with a narrator.
Yeah.
We know
the
narrator
loop. Wonder Years. It's like that. That thing is becoming overdone.
Yeah.
And then just recently, as in like today, like a couple of hours ago, I got to see Blue Beetle.
Oof.
Blue Beetle, I saw that, and we're gonna have a full review episode on that. But I will say this: that I was thoroughly impressed, and I am excited for James Gunn's DCU. After this, I think that this character is the first character to set things off the right way, and for what James Gunn is trying to do. And I think that a lot of people are going to enjoy this movie. So please go out and support this movie, not only for the character, but the culture of the character, the culture of comic books, the culture of comic book movies.
Yes.
Because it is worth the coin.
Wow.
I'm telling you that right now. Go see this movie. It's a blast. And then last but not least, me and Al, we both attempted to watch this movie.
What you watch?
And I was the only one that kind of made it through.
Al
Al told me he went to bed like 20 minutes in. there was this fan film Spider-Man movie that's been buzzing for like a year. And the director, he put it on YouTube, so it was like a big premiere. There was like 30,000 people in there waiting to watch it. It was called Spider-Man Lotus. And I don't know if you heard about it.
No, I did catch another YouTube video for another Spider-Man, Monsters of Manhattan, I think it's called.
I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah, it's another fan film. It looked pretty good, but tell me about Lotus.
Well, this one, Lotus, was done like very well. Like there's some moments, like the cinematography, but it was really long, and the storytelling was not that great. But it looked good. Like the opening shot, the opening sequence alone will have you like, oh, this is
they
indie?
spent some money,
This is but I with the whole AI thing going on, I kind of feel like a lot of it was probably cheated, like CGI-wise, probably like shot-wise. Like I couldn't really believe that a lot of these shots were coming from, this particular. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't want to hate. I'm not trying to hate. It's just hard to tell because a lot of it is shot so beautifully, but the storytelling is what was lacking in it. It was just really, it was dry. It was very slow. The credits alone were like longer than the movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was what it was. I made it through because I wanted to watch it before I talked about it.
Hour 30?
No, it was 2 hours solid.
Oh God.
Hey, what was funny? Klep is complaining. I'm telling him about this in the car. He wasn't aware, and he's like, well, you know what? In order to be a movie, it better be a 90-minute movie.
Yeah.
He get more than 90 minutes.
Yeah, because I wanted to make an event out of it. I was like, I'm going to sit in the house and get some snacks. I'm going to watch this thing on YouTube. Everybody's tuning in. I was feeling good on the weekend. And because he dropped it, on a Friday?
Yeah.
Friday night. And I was like, Al, I just hope it's not a short. I was like, I don't want to get ready, stay in the house and get ready to watch.
Popcorn.
Yeah, I don't want to watch a 15, 20-minute short. I want to watch a full-length feature because I knew it was indie, but I didn't know how. And we couldn't even find the runtime. We were looking online trying to find the runtime, but
wow, 120 flat.
It was way more than I really was ready to handle that night. But
was it enjoyable though?
No, it really wasn't.
Wow.
There was only one great actor in the movie, and he was the guy that played Flash Thompson. I don't know his name, but shout out to that guy because he really brought his A game, and he seemed way more like polished than a lot of everyone else. And some of the guys, like the guy who played Harry, just wasn't appealing for the role for me. But other than that, the storytelling was weird. It was. There was one really good moment in it because it was adapted from two different stories of Spider-Man. One of them was the kid who collects Spider-Man. Which was also adapted in the cartoon at one time, but was with a girl character. But this kid, that element of the movie was brilliant. I liked it because I was familiar with it. I knew it from the comic. I thought that was a good part. But other than outside of that, it just falls flat. It wasn't.
Okay, well, Spider-Man Lotus.
Yeah.
I might not see you.
Cut those roots.
But I mean, we've seen a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that we've seen over the course of a week.
Yeah.
I don't know how I fit all that stuff in, but I managed to bang out all those shows. But there are some things that are coming that we're even more excited about. We're going to talk about that.
So
there's another indie movie that I'm sure you and we've all grown up on. And I was having a conversation with Al about that and how this particular movie not only inspired me to love superhero stories, but it changed me. And when I say by it changed me, I mean it made me afraid of watching human beings go through pain.
Oh.
Physical pain.
Oh.
And suffering.
Wow.
And now it's been getting a remake. We've heard that they were working on this remake for about a year. And we got a first glimpse of it. And what I'm talking about, y'all, is Tromaville.
Oh, Trauma.
Toxic Avenger is getting a remake, because the origin story has been changed. And we got our first glimpse of it, which is, what's his name? Peter.
Is that Peter Dinklage?
That's Peter Dinklage.
That's him in costume.
Yes, playing Toxie. The cool thing that I've noticed about this image when I was looking at it, I mean, of course, it's different from the Toxie we all know. It's not the Toxic Avenger that we know.
No, because that was silly. That was almost like a silly.
It was silly, but he was also a lot taller. He was a lot more jacked and buff.
Yeah, way jacked.
I do, however, notice that he's wearing a tutu.
Huh.
He's wearing a tutu, same as our original Toxie.
He got his mop.
He's got Moppy, which is the name of the mop in the cartoon. But I noticed that he's like glowing. He has like purple glow on his brain and on his arm, and then the mop is glowing as well. And I'm curious about what that's all about. But a lot of people were complaining about his height and saying that is he going to be the same height? But I'm arguing that maybe this is pre-transformation, like maybe he's not fully transformed yet.
But if you got a glowing mop and stuff.
But I'm saying maybe he's going through the transition right now.
Okay.
Like that's
I
not
see what you're saying.
like maybe he kicked
He
in.
just came out. He's like, oh snap.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not super familiar with the trauma movies, so this is not.
There's really only like three or four.
Well, I know there's a few of
that
them, and they all like it's like a universe, right?
You gotta care about this and Nukem High for sure.
This Nukem High, Romeo and Juliet, and Sergeant Kabuki Man.
Yeah, so Sergeant Kabuki. I remember seeing that and
those are the biggest ones.
Things, and I was always like, "What is going on?"
But there I have
no idea.
There are
looks fun.
6 Toxic Avenger movies original.
Yeah, released in the franchise. Then you got the cartoon series.
Yeah, and then the
toys that you have lined up everywhere.
So is this the return of Trauma?
I mean, Trauma's never left.
Well, I'm saying, like, are they going, they bring in their A-listers,
well,
right?
first of all, I don't know how much of this film is Trauma. I know that they're involved. They've been given executive producer credits, and that came from the man himself. I spoke with Lloyd when he was at New York Comic Con. But I don't know how involved they are. It's a full reboot. Like I said, they changed the origin story. So the only thing that I noticed that they're probably taking is the name, the character likeness. But other than that, everything else seems to be original. And I'm kind of on the fence about the origin. I got to see it to believe it, but I'm also nervous to watch this movie because it might change me again.
Right.
It's the original was very violent, and I saw it at a very, very young age.
It's gonna change. If the first one made him afraid of suffering, he might not like this one so much. He's gonna want them to suffer.
Oh, listen, you don't even understand. I saw this movie when I was like 5 years old.
And he's like melting when the chemicals hit him.
Bro.
This wasn't for a 5-year-old.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. Our parents are
It's like
nuts.
his eyeballs melted.
No, they don't
like
even, you know what? It's not even like that. It's more or less like, I remember he falls in the vat, and he crawls out of the vat, and he falls on the ground, and he's like trying to scream, but it's not even coming out. He's reaching up, and everybody's standing over him laughing as his flesh is burning.
Yeah.
Yo, dude, it is the most terrifying thing you could ever show a 5-6-year-old kid.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Yeah, we're watching a superhero movie." I'm like, "What?"
What? This ain't Superman?
Yeah, man. Listen, it changed me. Just trust me. It was bad out to the point where I didn't watch that movie again until I was like well in my 20s.
So you're super excited about this?
I'm super excited about it because I love the Toxic Avenger. I was a huge fan of the cartoon.
Yeah.
I bought the toys, but it was because I was in love with the whole superhero thing. But I remember that I would not go back to the movie.
Well, is this a superhero take as well?
Yeah. It's a superhero take, but I'm nervous with the transformation scene. What I mean? Like it just, I don't know.
They can't. It's a high bar to they already
it's not
said.
just that though, because it's also other themes like who his girl is and will they do that because
the blind girl, man, the blind girl.
Yeah, man, because when they were getting down, my God, Toxie was laying it down in those old school movies.
Wow. Yeah, I'm sure none of that is happening.
It's still rated R. I believe it's still rated R.
I don't think it'll push to that limit.
I don't even think he has a blind girlfriend in this because the storyline follows him and a son. But there are some cool additions in it, like Kevin Bacon, I think, is playing the villain.
Okay.
And Elijah Wood is in it as well.
We love some Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon is becoming like the new Nick Cage. They're competing. They say who gets more work.
Yeah. I'm super excited for it. I want to know when you remake something like this, there's a bar that you got to hit, and part of the trauma, vibe is uncomfortable,
right,
edgy.
Practical effects,
and
we don't want to see no CGI.
And that shit crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, someone's getting hit by a car for sure, in the most brutal way.
Yeah.
I noticed that in every trauma when somebody gets ran over by a car, whether it's the head getting crushed, bones are someone gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
But legs get bent under the
Yep. But yeah, I'm excited. What about you? Are you?
I'm down to watch it, but at the same time, I don't have like a connection to it. So to me, it won't be a disappointing.
You didn't have Taxi in Santo Domingo, bro?
No, bro, we didn't have El Toxico.
El Toxico.
El Toxico. Nah, that's not for me. But I watch it. I'm down for it.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you're a trauma guy. It's right down the block from your crib, right?
Yeah, but another one, exactly. That was basically a G train 3 stops away. That's where they were at all my young childhood. I seen a lot of the movies. I met the man himself as well, Sandy, right?
Yeah.
And even in New York as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a legendary character from a legendary company. You know, they have some type of involvement. Makes me happy. So let's see where it goes. And I know that they will not keep the spirit of the original because it's just with today's environment, it just will not be kosher, if you will.
Yeah, it wouldn't
but
work.
I hope that they're able to still,
the
get
violence,
that energy and get that vibe.
the violence, it was top notch at that time, and their special effects. So it's like
that bosses are practical.
They're gonna soften this up.
CG.
Yeah, stay away from CG. That's what I.
Well, I mean that
too.
image, he's clearly CG in that image. Like you can see like the glowing images and things like that. So I'm curious to see how they do it. But I'm excited still, even though I might have to watch that thing like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's one thing down. I mean there's more fun things to come, and like one in particular is another comeback story, so to speak.
All right.
But in a different iteration. I believe it was 2010. We got a live action adaptation of a famous comic book about a guy who liked the girl, but in order to get the girl, he had to fight all the deadly boyfriends.
Oh yes.
Which I'm gonna be real. When I went in to watch this movie, I never knew what it was about. I was just like, I love Michael Cera. He was coming right off of Superbad.
Yeah.
And I was like, Scott Pilgrim saves the world. What is this? And when I walked out of that theater, I was like, yo, that was probably the dopest movie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. Edgar Wright, man. Yeah. Like his movies.
Yeah.
So creative.
So now this series, the film is getting a series redo.
Right.
Animated in the style of the original comic with
right.
all the original cast members.
Oh my God, Klep, you sent me this. You sent me this trailer, and right away, this is Ba-Ba-Ba-Bomb, right? Like, and it's
Sex Ba-Bomb.
Sex Ba-Bomb, right? And it's Allison Pill doing the intro, and right away I got goosebumps because this is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I've always gone back to it, right? Like the cast. The story, like Edgar Wright, way ahead of his time at the time. Yeah. Like the director-wise, right? So just that film's solid, right? Cult classic, like New Age. Mm-hmm. And I'm a bit familiar with the art style of Scott Pilgrim comics. Yeah. So like it's just good seeing them both put together. And now you saying this is a retelling of the original story?
No. It's a It's a different storyline, different story. They didn't say whether it was a sequel or prequel. But what I do know is that literally everyone's back. Gideon is back.
Yes.
Chris Evans' character's back.
Yes, they're all back.
Ralph is back.
Yes.
They're all back.
Everyone's back.
Yeah. Listen, I'm super.
Brie Larson's back.
Brie Larson.
What?
I don't even really do cartoons that much anymore.
Yeah.
It's got to be really special, and this is one of the ones I'm definitely gonna.
And this is Netflix, correct?
This is Netflix.
Yeah. This might be a big one for them.
Aubrey Plaza's back too.
Aubrey Plaza. I'm saying like so many people that were like like low tier characters in that movie that like became huge stars are coming back for this. This is a great thing because Kieran Culkin right now, right? Like,
Kieran Culkin's
he's
back
blowing up and he's in this, bro. He came back to play the roommate.
Yeah. He was mad funny in that. Man. That movie. You're gonna make me go back and watch that one.
Oh, dude, like
the
whole Battle of the Bands thing and like the music in this movie and the way they use like text.
The special effects in it is
right,
amazing.
like the way they like just intertwine like the text and like font. It's like a character in the movie. It's so good. Shout out Edgar Wright.
It still gets me curious about how Edgar Wright Ant-Man would have come out.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't want to do Scott Lang. He wanted to do Hank Pym. Yeah. So I mean,
Baby Driver's great.
That's one of my favorite movies. The soundtrack in that is hot.
Yeah, Baby Driver's awesome. So like, what he can do, man, like he's awesome.
Oh, are you a fan of the Scott Pilgrim series at all? Wasn't these the original comics were like MAGA, right? The manga?
Well, they're in manga stuff, only press.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I wasn't a big fan. Again, just like he said, this is more of a modern a book. You know what I mean? I'm an OG. I like my new stuff. But this is not something that attracted me. But when I saw the movie come out, and of course, it's a comic book movie, so of course I'm going to give it a chance. And you know what? For what it was, I dug it. You know, it was different. You know, and I always like different because when people ask, "Oh, that movie was cool," or do you know it was a comic book movie? I have to say that. Like, you see, not all movies happen to be a superhero.
Yeah.
So, it was fun. Great actors, all on the rise too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So yeah, great energy. And again, if you're gonna do this, that animation of fire. I mean, I like that type of animation, that bright color with the thick black lines. So let's do it, baby.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
It definitely was one of those first comic book adaptations to come to the theater that wasn't superhero based, because I didn't know it was a comic book until like after I already saw it. So yeah, you're right. It did open doors for a lot more of that.
Yeah, for the youthful, because there were others. I mean, No Country for Old Men is actually a comic.
And Two Guns, Two Guns with
Two Guns, Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks with the DC.
Oh, that's an awesome
one. And these are things that most people don't know, but they were started as graphic novels. People.
Graphic novels. That just means bigger, thicker comic books.
So wait, Klep, this is coming out November, I think.
November. Let me take a look. November. I had the date.
Yeah, this is
November 17th. So right around the holidays. Right around the holidays. Yeah, definitely checking that out.
Right before Thanksgiving, man.
Plus, Michael Cera's hot right now from Barbie.
Yeah, he's back. He's back, baby.
He was hilarious in Barbie.
Was he?
Oh my God! Listen, I didn't even expect to see him that much.
See,
Michael Cera is like from middle to third act is like one of the best things about Barbie.
I know people know him. People know and love him from that.
Yeah.
People know and love him from Superbad.
Yeah, Superbad.
But for me, he'll always be George Michael, Arrested Development, man.
Really?
Oh, he's so good.
I'm gonna tell you, honestly, one of my favorite Michael Cera films that no one ever talks about is Youth and Revolt.
I thought you was gonna say Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
That was, don't even sleep. That movie is fire.
No, you know what it is? It's like it's a very New York film. Like if you know New York and you love the city, you love Nick and Nora's just because they take you all around the city, and it's like a time capsule because it's like early 2000s, but not like there's no mention of Facebook.
Nope.
But people still have cell phones, so you know what I mean. So like it's a very interesting time that like. We just don't see it anymore. And like if you're like
it's an interesting love story too.
Yeah, like if you're like let's say you're in your 20s now, you didn't grow up with this childhood. Like this was not like your teenage years, your teenage romances. Yeah. Check it out though, because like
please check it out.
It's such a like a time. It's a time period.
Yeah.
It's such a time period, and it's like 20 years ago.
Yeah, you're gonna make me go back to that one too.
It's a good. Wait, so wait, which one's the one that you said?
Youth and Revolt.
Youth and Revolt.
Oh my God! Listen, it's so slept on. People, and it was in the theater.
Yeah.
That one came out right after Superbad,
and
it's about him with multiple personalities. He creates this personality so that he can make it through life. Dude,
I gotta peep. I gotta peep.
Best Michael Cera shit.
Shout out Michael Cera, man.
Yeah, you're gonna make. You know what I'm gonna do a Michael Cera marathon.
Michael Cera.
I'm gonna start with Superbad.
Hey, he's gonna watch year one.
Yeah. No, I'm not watching year one. I'm not watching year one.
He's watching year one.
But I will put in Juno though. I like Juno.
You gotta watch Juno. Oh man,
Juno. He barely has any lines.
It's such a weird movie to watch these days, right?
It is. But no, Michael Cera's the boss, man. Scott Pilgrim. Shout out to that. But let's move on to the next one, right?
Yes.
I'm not even gonna lie. When I saw this pop up,
talk to me.
I was like, why?
Okay. What are we talking about?
Although I enjoyed the first one. I thought the first one was funny. I thought John Cena, we just talked about him. He's one of the funniest people in this movie.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, it was more physical comedy for me.
Yes.
Because the minute I saw him come on the screen with that hair, I burst out laughing. He didn't say a word. I was just like, yo, this dude looks so funny. And I just laughed. Vacation Friends.
Dose.
With Rel, Howery.
Yeah, little Rel.
I forget the lady's name from Insecure.
Yeah.
I love her. She was great in Insecure. African name.
Yes.
Escapes me.
I'm not gonna butcher it. I'm not gonna butcher it.
But
I did enjoy Vacation Friends.
It was great. I liked it for what it was. That little Netflix thing.
And Cena's like, I know.
Hulu.
Yeah, straight to Hulu.
Yeah, Hulu.
So it's like low point on entry. Definitely watch this. But what was I gonna say? He's like doing the run of sequels right now because he's got Blockers too on the horizon too.
I don't even know about that. Thank you for putting me in.
Yeah, Blockers 2 is on the horizon.
I like Blockers.
So you like this?
I like the Blockers, man.
I think I like Cena, bro. I like Cena as an actor.
I like Cena because he knows how to make fun of himself, and he's having fun with it. He knows he's the big goofy guy in the room. Yep. You know, he doesn't have a problem, and that's why I like Blockers because he played like that insecure dad who didn't know better, and I love that role for him. But when I saw this pop up, I'm gonna be real. I didn't even watch the trailer.
The trailer looks wild.
I didn't even bother.
No, the trailer looks wild, but it's exactly what you think you're gonna get, right? Like these people go on a vacation. Yeah. Hijinks arise. Yeah. Do you need to know more?
Nope. That's why I didn't even bother, and it's not because I don't think it's going to be great. It's just that I already know what I'm getting. Yeah, I really already know what I'm getting, and sometimes some movies you already know. Like you see, oh, it's a sequel, same cast. You know what tropes they're going to do to pull you in. They're going to do the same thing that they did in the last one. They're just going to change something. Yeah, that's it. Like Hangover. Yeah. Like we love Hangover, but we only love
it 3 times.
Yeah, and I always say this too. I have like this saying to myself where I'm like, sequels are not about the story. They're about the characters. If you fall in love with that character the first time, they can give you that same character 1,000 times. Yeah. You don't care. You're going to watch it.
Yeah.
They're doing it with Fast and the Furious. We don't watch it for the story. We watch it for the characters in that story because we already know what Dom's going to bring. We already know what Letty's going to bring. You know what I mean? So with this, they found some characters, specifically John Cena and the chemistry with him and Rel. Same thing with Rush Hour.
Right.
Come on. Why are we going to watch Rush Hour? Because we love Chris Tucker with Jackie Chan.
We love Carter.
We don't care what the story is. You know, so, I mean.
Interesting pairings, though, right? When you think about it. You roll with him, and then you got Rock with Hart.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, great pairing. You put them together, them dudes is hysterical.
Imagine all 4 of them in a movie.
Oh, that would be. Well, do it like the Diesel Three Stooges. You got to do it, right? And then with the mini-me's, making it the small guys.
You may have something here. You may have something.
Are we giving away ideas right now?
Yeah, I think we're giving them
Hollywood's
free,
not.
They're not doing shit anyway. So
they're gonna be like, these guys just.
We'll keep you in the
what?
Yeah, man. So I mean, I'm not really. You excited for this? You checking it out?
Listen, it's on Hulu. It's a
and Disney Plus.
All I'm saying is you don't gotta leave your house. You should watch this on a Friday night, Saturday night, a fun comedy. Yeah, man, sign me up.
It's a Hulu and chill, right?
It's a Hulu and chill. Yeah, man. Go watch your movie at home, man. You don't gotta pay nothing.
I will check. I will end up checking this out. I'll probably watch it first day if I'm in the right mindset and I'll have nothing else better to do because I like a laugh. And like I said, John Cena was hilarious in the first one. I just wasn't checking for it. I don't know who was asking for it. It's just like Disney, man. They're just whatever. They don't.
That man's trying to stay busy. You know, he's not wrestling. He's just trying to, stay busy in Hollywood.
Is he not wrestling though? Is he coming back? Is he not?
He makes an appearance here and there. Yeah. We had a surprise appearance from him a couple months ago. Yep. But that was it.
He's on a break.
When Vince calls, they go running, son.
Oh, because Vince knows, man.
Vince is the man,
Vince
bro.
cuts those checks. Yeah, speaking of breaks, we're going to take a break right now, and when we come back from this break, we're going to be talking with executive producer Andrew Barsley from Son of a Critch, and he's also executive producer of Schitt's Creek. But the new show, Son of a Critch, I'm telling you guys, you got to check it out. It comes on Mondays, 8 p.m. on CW. A little cute little gem. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk with, Jelly's going to talk to you about how you guys can get involved with the movie scene with us, and then we're going to go right into this interview right after that.
Hey fellow critics, I am Jelly and we are Critics.com had a way to get you involved with the updates that we report in a segment we like to call Stream a Little Stream. You tell us what you watched, are watching, or looking forward to watching, and we will use our platform to keep everyone up to date about what's worth streaming or about to stream. And we will share that on our platform week to week. So head on over to Twitter, follow We Are Critics, and tell us what shows or movies streaming you recommend. After all, it's not about what we like, it's about what you like. I'm Jelly for WeAreCritics.com. Until next time, it's sweet streams.
What's going on, guys? My guest today, you may know him as executive producer of 9-time Emmy-winning show Schitt's Creek. He's also responsible for putting the kids back in the hall in 2022, and now he's working on a new show for CW that is already getting laughs and raving reviews over in Canada. I'm talking about Andrew Barnsley. How are you doing today?
Oh man, I'm good. Thank you so much. It's fun to hear those credits listed. It's been a fun few years for me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what does that feel like to be able to pull something from another, like a whole nother area, and then bring it into the U.S.? What does that feel like?
It's still a very surprising feeling. I certainly experienced it on Schitt's Creek, and to be able to do it again with Son of a Critch, when you start shows like this, that's never really kind of the goal. The goal is to find an audience domestically and to make sure that you're telling authentic stories and you're representing things the right way and responsibly. But all of a sudden, when you start to get traction and you start to feel momentum build and you start to get calls from people outside of your own country, it's pretty special, and it just feels good. And I remind everybody on the show just to take a time to just reflect on how important it is and how special it is and how great it is that our hard work is just reaching a broader audience.
Yeah, and I want to start by one thing by saying you've been involved with two shows that have probably two of the most creative names. It's a nice flip, a nice little spin. Talk to us about the title of this show, Son of a Critch. I know it comes from a book for the lead character, Mark, but why choose that? Why keep that same name for the show going forward?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, Mark. So it did start. Mark is he's a household name in Canada. He's known as a very important comedic voice. Mm-hmm. He's on the longest running political satire show in Canada, and people know who he is. He's very well respected. He's had an extraordinary career growing up in the province of Newfoundland and Labrador, which is, Newfoundland is this remote island in the North Atlantic. Mm-hmm. And he's just become a very sort of significant and meaningful voice that politicians listen to, that titans of industry listen to, that everyday Canadians listen to. Yeah. And he felt, a few years ago that it was time to write his first memoir. And he happened to have a last name that rhymes with a word. And so he felt that Son of a Critch was the appropriate title. And when we came on board as producers and as a production company, it's like, let's go for it. And we knew that sort of the proximity to Schitt's Creek, it was kind of funny that those two were aligned in that way. But what's interesting is we never got any pushback on the name. People bought into it right away. And Mark gets some mileage out of that. He's since released a second memoir that gets sort of past his teenage years, and it's called An Embarrassment of Critches. So any pun we can come up with, we're down for.
Now, is there any kind of pressure now for the next project where you're like, that name has got to be just as clever or in the same kind of tone?
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I'm trying not to put that pressure on me, but I definitely feel it.
Yeah. So, and again, like we said, this is based on the memoirs of Mark Critch. What is it about his overall story that is just so compelling to you that you feel as though the U.S. is ready for it or even would want it?
Yeah. The thing thankfully we've been on air on the CW for a few weeks now, and we have noticed that people are watching it and it is connecting with audiences. And what's interesting about that is the show is very specific in nature. It not only does it take place, like I mentioned, in this remote island in the North Atlantic, it takes place in the mid 80s. So it's like specificity on top of specificity. So you're getting like narrower and narrower in terms of who can relate to it. But what's fascinating, has been so fascinating, is that it's almost counterintuitive. The more specific you get, the more the universal themes come out of it. Yeah. And, I've spoken with people all over Canada and now in the US as well. And they're like, oh, I remember that Walkman. I remember that song. I remember getting bullied. I remember the first time I walked up the stairs to my school. I remember, trying this type of food for the first time. And it's become so relatable. And not only that, it's a story of three generations living in the same house. And this, was Mark's life. And so you're speaking to three generations as well. So it's like it's kind of counterintuitive, but at the same time, the reach has become really broad, and it's so nice to see that that's actually happening in the U.S. as well.
Yeah, and nostalgia is universal. I would agree.
Yeah,
the show feels a lot like the Goldbergs in that sense, with the narrations and everything like that. But there are some really fun things in this show that maybe some of us would not even think of. Like, I don't want to give away too much, but there is this one funny moment about the obsession of cucumbers. What I want to know is, are these true things in the Great North?
They are true. They are true. And so what's like that cucumber story and this is, Mark lived it. I actually spent a lot of time in Newfoundland as a kid growing up. And what happened was that was an economy that was based on the fisheries. It was based on codfish, the cod fishery. And the Canadian government put a moratorium on fishing in Newfoundland, and it just collapsed the economy. And so the governments were just trying to figure out, how do you bring it back? And there were all kinds of sort of strategic plays and initiatives that went into it. And the truth is, growing cucumbers in greenhouses, hydroponic cucumbers in greenhouses, was a thing that the government invested heavily in Newfoundland in the 80s. And I remember as a kid driving by the greenhouse, and at night it lit up the sky, because I think it was something like they could grow a cucumber in something like 11 days because the way it was done. And they're like, the whole economy, like cucumbers weren't a thing in Newfoundland. Yeah. But they were in that moment of time. And the funny thing is, so there was and you'll see it in that episode, where government put out literature. This is how you cook with cucumbers. These are recipes with cucumbers. And the math was, the cost of making one cucumber in Newfoundland at the time was something like $11 or something like that, because so much money had been put into it, but they couldn't sell them for that much, right? So anyway, yeah, these are all true stories. These are versions of true stories that Mark experienced as a child growing up in Newfoundland.
That is literally one of my favorite episodes. It's hilarious. It's just so funny to see the fascination over something that's just so everywhere here in the U.S.
Yeah, and so exotic.
The show is built up of a lot of colorful characters. You got Malcolm McDowell in this, like legendary Clockwork Orange. What is it like to get him involved in something this funny and hilarious? Like, what was that like?
I mean, we are so lucky to be working with Malcolm. He is a true legend. And the truth is, he loves it. He loves, when we've been filming in Newfoundland, he loves the community, the culture. He gets involved in it. But what really sold him was the script. It was such a long shot for us to go have our casting directors reach out to Malcolm. But they were like, let's just get a script in front of him, see what he thinks. And he read the script and was like, I need to be involved in this show. This is something that speaks to me. It's funny. The team is in place. Let's do it. And it's funny, just a couple of weeks ago, after the day we were launching on the CW, he called me and he said, Andrew, it's like, I feel I finally have a TV show people are going to watch. So he's so proud of it. He loves it.
I'm telling you, the chemistry between him and Benjamin, who plays young Mark, is pure heart. Like, it's the reason I keep coming back to it, and I'm sure audiences feel the same way. Andrew, I want to thank you for taking the time to talk with me. Son of a Critch, guys, it's on CW every Monday at 8 p.m. It's hilarious. It's heartfelt. It's a fun show. I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to see how it wraps up until the next season.
Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the time here. I appreciate it.
All right. Again, guys, make sure you guys are checking out Son of a Critch on CW every Monday at 8 p.m. I'm telling you, it's a funny show. It's heartwarming. It's very family-driven. If you like Goldbergs, if you like Young Sheldon, if you like Wonder Years, this is right up your alley, so check it out. All right, so back at it, right?
Hey, let's do it.
So now we're talking about the big topics.
Let's talk
we're
about
gonna hit the big screen in a second.
Yes.
Because there's some wild things going on in the industry right now. Some lighthearted stuff, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's still a little crazy. So we have this fan, super fan. I thought I was a fan.
We are fans.
Are you a fan?
Not to this level.
Okay, I'm a fan of a show called Stranger Things.
I've watched it.
And you're a fan.
I believe I've watched it.
But this super fan,
yes,
she thought, says that she was having this ongoing online relationship with one of the cast members.
Wow.
The cast member, Dacre Montgomery,
okay.
who is known as Billy. Yeah, this
Billy,
gentleman right
he's bad guy.
The lifeguard guy.
Season 3, season 2, bad guy?
The lifeguard guy, right?
Yeah.
That's Max's brother. Max's brother.
Yeah, he was trying to get with Will's mom or something, right?
Yeah, so this young lady here, she thought that she was talking with him online.
Yeah.
He gave her an ultimatum at one point and told her that she needs to leave her husband for him.
Whoa.
And not only that,
what did she do?
It gets crazier than that. She has at some point given this gentleman $10,000.
Oh my God.
$10,000. Yeah, this is a wild story, man. We're going to read some excerpts.
So he was like, baby, I'm down on my luck. It's going to be a long time to my next, casting opportunity. I need me some money for some rent. Do you mind sending me a Venmo?
Don't forget the baby, please, baby. Because, I mean, he had to have been wooing the hell out of her for that kind of money. Okay, let's read this. This is coming from TMZ,
okay.
right? A woman's life turned upside down when she sent a bunch of money to one of the stars from Stranger Things and even divorced her husband because the actor told her to.
Wow.
Michaela, a single mom from Kentucky.
She got kids?
She got kids.
Oh, my God. It gets worse.
Michaela, a single mom from Kentucky, claims she was catfished and scammed out of $10,000 by someone who claimed to be Dacre Montgomery, known for playing heartthrob-turned-villain Billy Hargrove in the Netflix series Stranger Things. Really?
Yeah. I mean, stranger things do happen in everyday life.
And catfish things happen as well.
Things. I love that. I love that.
Catfish things happen as well,
I feel so bad for her.
Yo, you know what? I don't feel bad. Let me continue. She shared her wild experience on her YouTube channel, Catfish, saying that the two met on an online forum and chatted for a year before he asked her to be his girlfriend. For reference, Michaela was still married, but claimed her relationship with her husband was toxic. Okay. By the way.
Yeah.
The real Dacre has been dating model Liv Pollock.
Supermodel.
Since 2017.
Okay, so he's in a deeply committed relationship.
Since 2017.
So you're saying there's no chances that Michaela
I'm saying
and
there's
her...
not a chance.
If Michaela was a super fan, shouldn't she have known that he was involved?
Maybe he was leaving his girl too.
All right, muchacha, look at that. I mean, mama.
Because she left her husband. Like, why wouldn't he be leaving his girl too for them to be together?
Listen.
But listen. At the end of the day, what bothers me the most is like we live in a digital age, right? Like, it's very easy. Like, hey, I just met somebody across the world. Cool. I've seen pics. Let's get on voice. FaceTime. Let's get on FaceTime, right? Like, let's see. We're real, right? Like,
a year? Dude, I'm asking for FaceTimes in 3 days.
In 3 days, yeah.
In like 3 days, I'm like, hey, let's FaceTime.
Well, you know what the thing, Klep, is like now with AI and deepfakes, I could make myself look like Tom Cruise, bro.
Yeah.
On a FaceTime?
On a FaceTime.
On my phone.
On a phone, yes, I could do that.
You could be looking like young Denzel.
You could be Denzel, bro.
Let's hook that
Klepcx, bro.
Klepcx,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I could see. I'm sure this is not the situation here. This lady's a fool. Michaela's a fool. I'm sure she didn't get tricked by no damn AI. I think she just wanted her hunky TV
She just wanted to believe what she believed. She knew. She knew deep down.
She got shit by BK.
She got no. No. Listen, we're not gonna shame. But what we're gonna say is that I believe that she probably was just tricking herself. Like, she loves the guy. She's a huge fan. Yeah. She didn't want to believe that it wasn't real. I hope that's.
But bro, like this has happened to other people. Like I've seen the show on MTV. I know Catfish, bro. Like there was an episode there of a dude who thought he was talking to Katy Perry. Like this happens to people. It happens to people is what I'm trying to say, you know?
It doesn't happen to people, and that's what we got to get through our thick heads. Because, first of all, celebrities are not going to just leave trail.
And they're not going to ask you for money.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to ask you for money in public or in thread. Because you could easily, like, go to TMZ and be like, look, this person here asking me for money. Like, yeah, man, we got to do better as a society, man. People are so connected to their devices, and they don't even know how to, like, interact with real people.
So you're saying that DM I got from Rihanna is fake? When she was asking me for $5K. Like, what?
Listen,
she said
she wanted to invest in her joint.
Bro, she was going to leave ASAP, bro. She said she's taking the baby. She just needs $5,000 for me. That's fake, though, right?
But, like it's sad because she probably, like, would be quicker to say no to somebody for $10K in person than she did with this guy, who she probably never was in the same room with.
Bro, $10K is probably a lot of money for Michaela. Not that I know her situation. Yeah. But it's $10K is a lot of money for a lot of us.
She's a mother with a child. Put that $10K in your kid while you give it to some actor.
Yeah, who you've never even been in the same room with. Yeah. Like, that's wild.
Maybe did he mail her? Maybe use underwear or something. He smelled my pee stain.
Dude, I don't know what he did.
Somebody out there is up though. 5K, 10K.
Somebody's way up. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's move on.
Just don't be a victim, you guys. Don't be a victim. Yeah. Ask for FaceTime calls.
And you were telling me that this happens a lot in like the WWE.
Yeah. This I've heard it from different wrestlers talking about like, hey, I will never contact you for money. And it's usually the women, right? Like, so somebody makes a fake account using their pictures and then they catfish some poor fool out there. And then they think they have an ongoing relationship with, I don't know, Alexa Bliss or any of these, like, big-time WWE. Because, I mean, these are beautiful women, right?
Yeah. Like, you might go to a convention, hey, baby, it's
me. Hey, it's me. And they're like, security.
coming from both angles.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, just don't be a fool. Don't be a fool.
Use better judgment. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Use better judgment.
Use common sense.
And talk to your friends.
Because
your friends will tell you, like, listen, you're not talking to Billy.
Yeah.
Your friends will tell you, like, no, you're not talking to Rihanna, Miguel.
She had friends, though? I don't think she had.
But I'm saying, like, there's somebody in her life, even if it's family. Whoa.
I'm sure her husband told us.
Yeah. That's not Billy.
He's probably chilling right now, like, yo, I tried to tell her.
Yeah. Wow.
But let's move on. We're gonna get to our last topic because this one here is gonna probably take a lot of energy out of us. Listen, Disney has been on a roll right now, and not in a good way either. Like remaking all these classic films, and they haven't been without their controversy. You know, a lot of people. Let's go all the way back to like The Lion King. People were saying that the characters look too creepy, too real, too real. It's live action, and they were saying that it looked too real.
Yeah.
And then let's jump forward to Aladdin, which was received well by people. Yeah. It doesn't stand up to Robin Williams' performance, but Will Smith did a damn good job. I think it was a great adaptation. And then we had the huge controversy about the Little Mermaid, and the fact that the fictional mermaid, was African American. And then everybody else in the film was diversified and changed there, which still played as a great film. I did not hate it. I enjoyed it. I thought the message at the end overall really stuck it to the naysayers, because the message of the movie was really what everybody was complaining about.
Inclusivity.
Yes, basically. Well, not only just that, but just getting along with people and their differences.
Yeah.
And now...
They done it again.
Well, I don't know who to blame at this. I don't know if this is coming from the studio or if this is coming from the lead actress.
Producers. No, she has no say. She got hired to do this role before she even read the script.
No. I understand she got hired to do the role, but she's on the press lines saying some really wild, controversial things.
Now this is older. Can we just get to the story, because now like we're about to break it down and people still don't know.
Okay, so this is Snow White, the new Snow White. She will be. She will be.
You're
Snow
evil,
White.
bro.
Rachel Zegler, who a lot of people maybe recognize her from West Side Story. What else was she in? She was in Shazam, Fury of Gods. Yeah, I didn't really recognize her at first, and then I was like, oh yeah, she was the girl. She played Lucy Liu's sister in Shazam. But now she's going to be playing the new Snow White in a new adaptation for Disney, and she's been on the press lines really kind of slamming the OG version of this film to promote the new stance that they're going to be taking in the new adaptation, which is very... I don't know what to call it. It's not very feminist. A lot of people are saying, a lot of fans are saying, because she's coming off as like bashing, weak women, men, in order to push the narrative that Snow White is going to be more bossed up, more powerful,
Boss
more,
lady.
yeah, which was not the original storyline at all. It's like a totally different movie at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if she shows up with machine guns and kicks in the door and just starts shooting up the place. But there's controversy with this, and I want to know what we're thinking about this, because, yeah, when I think of Snow White and I think about Disney and I think about their storylines and their fairy tale-like themes, I'm not looking at it as though they're belittling little girls or teaching little girls that they have to be a certain way. There's a lot of diversity out there for young women. I remember there was a time when every time you saw a toy commercial, it always revolved around little girls playing with babies or being in the kitchen or cleaning or cooking. But times have kind of strayed away from that a little bit, and now girls know that they can kind of go up and do what they want to do. So to feel like they need to change this classic so drastically, so dramatically, how do we feel about that? How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, I just want to say this is an awful picture of her.
She's classic right there.
They're doing her dirty. Yeah, but this is obviously, like a paparazzi shot behind the scenes or whatever. And, like, she got her little clippies in. Horrible picture.
She's classic.
Whatever. Yeah, this look, it's the classic Snow White. This is the look, that comes first to mind. Listen, Disney has been doing this for a long time now. They're not making a movie for then. They're making a movie for now. Mm-hmm. This story undoubtedly was going to be adapted. Like, don't be surprised that they're changing stuff. Like, even if we go back to, you brought up Aladdin. In Aladdin, the Jasmine storyline is like she wanted to take over for her dad. She did, dude, this is exactly what we're gonna get out of all these like castle stories. If there was ever a princess that's being overlooked, she's not gonna stand for that, right? And Disney's gonna be like, you know what, you're right, and that's fine, dude. Like, that's fine. I don't care. This movie is not for me. I'm a grown ass, almost 40-year-old dude. This is for a 7-8-year-old girl, you know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Like, they could do whatever they feel like they need to do in order to adapt it to today's times. Now, is it still Snow White? I don't know. These stories are forever old, right? Like, these aren't new fairy tales. Like, these tales have been getting adapted throughout the years. It's nothing new. It's going to be when they remake this 100 years from now, it's not... It might not be whatever girl boss they're trying to portray here. It might just be like the robot.
So
Snow White.
So let me read some of the things that she was saying, and I want to know if these are people justified for feeling a certain way about hearing some of the things that she's saying in sort of a snarky kind of way. Like, she's not kind of coming off as compassionate about the original. She's kind of throwing her thought at people, and it's kind of in a snarky kind of way. So let me read this. It's like, she jokes about, the guy being in the movie. She goes, we have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because we cast a guy in the movie, she says, right? And then she goes, it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful, which is cool. And then she jokingly says that all the scenes featuring Prince Charming could get cut, adding, who knows, it's Hollywood, baby.
She's not wrong.
So what you're saying is that they could have a Snow White storyline with no Prince Charming.
Bro, they had a Snow White movie without Snow White.
It was about the huntsman, though.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's like these stories get adapted. Like the very first one, the huntsman and Snow White. Okay, cool. For whatever reason, they were like, Snow White's not working with doing the huntsman. They already did that.
See that two of them, right?
They did a second one, yeah. Chris Hemsworth and I think was it the Ice Queen? She was like the villain. Yeah. So like this is not new, bro. Like this is just 2023, 2024 Snow White. It's not the Snow White. There's no such thing as that anymore.
Well, you know they got rid of the 7 dwarfs as well.
Yeah. That's fine, dude. Like, it is what it is. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, listen, me complaining about this movie now without seeing it, it's the same way people were complaining about Ariel being before seeing it. Yeah. It's the same thing. Like, how can I stand on my soap stand and, you know what I mean, and knock this down just over some dumb comments?
All right, so let me ask you the hard question. I'm going to ask you one more question because I'm with you, and I just didn't like the way the comments you were saying were coming off.
Yeah.
But I'm with you with the open mind that, like, it might work. It might work.
And it might not, but now we don't know that.
So what I'm asking you is because of how disconnected it sounds to general audiences, do you think they're going to come out and support it, or is it going to be another Little Mermaid failure?
So Little Mermaid was a failure?
It only did well domestically. It did 0 overseas.
So I'm gonna tell you what. America right now, we're in a... I don't want to say that we're divided.
Oh, we've always been divided.
No, but I'm saying it's like right now we're at a pivot point, right? It's like look what happened to Target. Look what happened to Bud Light when they went hard body into their political alliances. If this ends up happening to this movie and it's used as I don't know, an avatar of it all, then yeah, it will fail. It will fail because people will not support it, and that's fine. You know, like you don't need to feel bad for Disney. I'll tell you that right now. Like, don't feel bad for Disney. They're billionaires, right? Like Bob Iger, right? Like,
oh yeah, he's back.
This dude's getting bonus checks that you will not see in your entire lifetime. Most of y'all, anyways. I hope some of y'all do. But yeah, don't feel bad for Disney, bro. Like, let them flop a $300 million movie. I don't care. I don't own their stocks.
All right, but Al, I know you have a very, very, very strong opinion about a lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to the OG stuff and paying homage and respect to the original storylines. It doesn't even really have to do with, you know, the political thing about it. It's about respect the original storyline.
Yes.
So how do you feel, and what do you think, how do you think this is going to affect the general box office going forth if this is the type of press that they're going to keep pushing?
Well, if Disney's smart, they're going to pull her off the press lines immediately because she speaks as a misandrist. You know, I don't ever see a dude go on a press line and this women or this, that, the other, you know, and talk about that. This is how this is going to be different. I mean, I'm a boss. Dudes don't talk like this. So she already turned me off from the movie from that. The fact that this movie does not follow anything of the original story at the end of the day, yeah, sure, you could change things, sure. But they call this Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. So to me, this is not Snow White and the Huntsman. This is Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. So give me my little people, you know, do it right, you know, don't be a misandrist. What's wrong with a love story? What the hell is wrong with a straight love story? We have enough of the other kind that's been going on, so give us a normal one for us now, please. You know,
and that's been a lot of.
It's the misandry that gets me because I don't like when you got to put down a whole group. You're putting out 50% of the audience, the global audience, the men. You know what I mean? All the men. Why? What's your purpose? Okay, listen. I have a beautiful, strong daughter. I have a beautiful, strong ex-wife, beautiful mama. I love and respect strong women, no doubt. But they would never like put down people or say this is the way it's got to be. I know they're bosses, and guess what? They don't need to flaunt it. And I understand that's the messaging nowadays, but they got to kind of tone down because, again, America is divided. Always been divided and will continue to be divided when we have media and people talking out their ass like she did. Yeah. You know what I mean? And this turned me off. I'm not going to watch this movie. I don't care. Wow. And it will affect the box office if they keep her on the press line, I'm telling you now.
And that's that's been the overall consensus that a lot of people are saying. A lot of women are giving her backlash, saying like, not every woman wants to be strong, not every woman wants to be a boss. Some people like to be a little soft. Some people like to be, you know, in a different kind of way in society. They don't want to be strong women, like. And I get that. It's like, it's kind of it's even separating that as well. It's like, oh, we got boss women over here. We got, you know, not weak, but like softer women over here. It's dividing that section of things.
Soft. I would say traditional.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go with the traditional, you know, female role versus the modern female role.
She had made another comment though that kind of was like snarky towards like women who didn't want to be in that strong role, and she used the term. She said, "Well, if they want to be soft, they can be soft," and it kind of came like, "Come on," you know what I mean? I just think it's the wrong way to market this thing. I get it. You want to empower women, but it's got to be in a different kind of way where you're not being so hard about it.
Yeah.
So like hard.
It's
Yeah.
So it's talk like that.
I mean, listen, this is a young girl.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
She's a young girl in a public eye. Maybe hasn't had as much media training as she probably needs, especially to be in this type of role, right? This is, you know,
big as it gets.
As big as it gets for the biggest studio in the world.
Yeah.
You know, for a classic storyline.
Baby, either comments.
No, Al, but like,
I hear what he's
Al,
saying. I hear what
dude,
he's saying.
No 21, 23. She's not thinking about that type of stuff.
Spoke like that on camera. She got in a cocotazo, bro. Or as you Dominicans say, a jaguazo.
I got you, bro. I got you. But I'm saying it's like, this is a young woman, bro. Like, she don't know. She don't know up from down.
Oh,
like,
she don't know now because she put out videos
and you know what?
You know, playing the victim.
And you know what? Klep did send me a couple clips of how like different media places are portraying the story, and it's so out of proportion, bro. Like, it's so crazy, and like, she don't deserve all that. I'm sorry, and I'm not here to like defend her or whatever, but it's like, dude, like, it's because we're on a strike and there's nothing else going on, and this is like major news, dude. Chill.
Damn, you're just saying that we just jumping on the bandwagon.
And I told you I don't love these type of stories because of that, bro. Yeah. Like I can't come across as the same people that were complaining about Little Mermaid because I was roasting them.
Listen, I don't have a problem with Little Mermaid.
I
thought Little Mermaid was fine and it came out pretty well.
And I wouldn't be surprised if this comes out.
I'm still gonna check it out just to see what the approach is. I just think that this is the wrong kind of marketing because the media is gonna spin everything.
They will spin.
They're gonna change her word. Even
the media divisiveness. That's all.
Yeah. Even if she meant zero harm. Even if she was being 1,000% transparent about the situation, people they're gonna twist it and make it sound as wild as they can to get the clickbait and stuff like that. I just want to know, what did you all think? Did you guys think that, the things that she was saying were a little harsh? Are you on board with the changes with Snow White? Sorry, not Cinderella, but Snow White. Are you still going to show up? Miggs is going to be the first one in line because he supports.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I haven't seen many of these
live adaptations.
Yeah, dude, I haven't. Like, I've seen Lion King. I've seen Aladdin. I can't wait for Hercules. That's probably the big one on my list because I know Russo Brothers is taking helm of it. But like I haven't seen Dumbo. You know what I mean? Like I haven't seen Little Mermaid. So a lot of these movies were big for me because I was a Disney child at this time. Yeah. But obviously, Snow White, it wasn't my jam because. Dude, this movie's legit 1970, 1930 something.
Yeah,
so it's like
it wasn't even my jam.
You know what I mean? Like we have other stuff around our age that like we are nostalgic.
Who's playing Hercules? Lil Rel?
You know what? Maybe it's John Cena.
John Cena. But yeah, listen, guys. I mean, that's it. That's all we got going on today at the Klepcx show. I want to thank my man Miggs for stopping by once again. Got my man Omega in the back. I need a big whip. There we go, man. I love those. Yeah, as always, guys, it's a pleasure to sit here and talk with you guys. You guys let us know which one of these topics you were really feeling the most and what you're excited for in the future. Again, for more movie news and television news and pop culture, make sure you guys are checking out wearecritics.com. like, comment, share, and subscribe, please. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Peace.